Welcome back to another video. If you're new, my name is Leah and I am all about spending less, creating more, and sharing with you how you can do the same thing in your kitchen, and that includes during the holidays and on vacation. So today I'm going to be sharing with you our second annual holiday in a hotel, all the things that I brought with me, the things that I bought when I got there, and how I cooked it in the hotel room. So make sure you stay tuned. Every Thanksgiving, our family goes over to Nashville for a huge church conference. We get to spend a lot of time in services, classes, time in a worship service every single day, and we get to see so many family, friends, and loved ones that we haven't seen in about a year most of the time. So we make sure that we include that in our actual family vacation planning. It's about a week long. And we want to make sure that we have fun with our family while we're there, doing activities to create memories as well. So that can all add up to a lot of expense when you think about the hotel, the gas to get there, the food that you're going to eat while you're there, and any activities on the side. So budgeting is a must. And anytime that I can save money, you know I'm all about that. Of course, we really enjoy trying new restaurants, new coffee shops. This time we ended up going over to the Aquarium restaurant with the kids. It's at the Opry Mills Mall near the hotel that we stayed at. And it was so much fun getting to see all of the fish. Sometimes they even have a mermaid over there, and the kids loved it. The food was delicious. The service was outstanding. Of course, it was really pricey, but we made up for that with all of the food that we were able to eat in our hotel room. So that was a really great way to incorporate a new memory with our kids. And then on Black Friday, we went over to the mall again for the sale that they had at Build-A-Bear. It was really great being able to let the kids pick out their stuffed animal that they want. It was buy one, get the other for $12. We put a little heartbeat in each one of them, so when you squeeze the teddy, you get to hear and feel that heartbeat. And then I think they'll always be able to remember their 2023 trip with the family to Nashville every time they have that in their arms. Now, like I said, this trip was during Thanksgiving, as it has been every year. And I wanted to include a Thanksgiving dinner like I did last year in the hotel that was homemade. In years prior, we have done Cracker Barrel, we have done Steak and Shake, we have done pizza takeout on Thanksgiving Day, but last year and this year, I made a Thanksgiving dinner in an Instant Pot. So make sure you check out down in the description box the video for last year's Thanksgiving holiday in a hotel video to see what I made. And this year, I wanted to do something a little bit different, but I still wanted it to be like Thanksgiving. So I was trying out a new idea to have Thanksgiving dinner in the Instant Pot. I'm really excited to share with you. It turned out really great, with the exception of the green bean casserole. You'll see later why that did not work. But first, before we left for Nashville, I did want to get a little bit of prep work done. I needed to get the chicken cooked already. I didn't want to have to deal with that while I was there because I knew I would end up with chicken broth. So here is my meal prep before we left. I actually bought 2 family packs with a really great discount of this chicken breast, boneless, skinless. And I'm putting all of it into my Instant Pot. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper to this as well, help it get some flavor as it cooks. And then I can always add more to this depending on what kind of meal I'm making with it. I won't be needing all of this for our trip. I'm going to get some of this put up into my freezer as well. But I might as well just get it all cooked while I'm doing it. It's just less work later on. This for about 45 minutes. It's probably not gonna take that long, but it is pretty full with chicken. So I'm gonna go with the 45 minutes and then I'm gonna shred that up. Once the meat was cooked, I portioned it into each dinner portion. I left a lot of it at home as well in my freezer for another day. And this is so easy to add seasoning to and shred it up directly in the bag while it's still warm. So I gave that a nice squish around. I added more seasoning when I realized I didn't have enough. One of my biggest travel hacks for you is to put all of your cooked meat into the freezer before you travel. That way it's all frozen and stays really cold for your entire drive. Of course, still put it into a cooler with ice, but that helps out so much. Then I also like to bring aluminum foil for easy cleanup. We always save our condiments that we tend to get so many of from restaurants throughout the year and take those on road trips. And then we also use Ziploc bags for things like mayo, sour cream, This is all the broth I got from the Instant Pot I was really excited about. And then once we got in town is when I did all of my grocery shopping for the rest of the items that we needed, which was so convenient, waiting until after all of our luggage was unpacked. We were settled in at the hotel and we were able to figure out the microwave situation, because a lot of hotels that we've been going to in Nashville do not offer microwaves at all in the room because they're considered a fire hazard, but they do have them in common areas, vending areas. So made sure we knew that we had access to one and then made the rest of our meal plan around it.
Does it have kiwi?
Yes.
Sweet!
In all the years past, we've always stayed at the Opryland Hotel, but this year they sold out of rooms really quickly. So we went to the inn at Opryland across the street, and it was a fantastic experience. We were super close. We could drive on over to the other hotel as needed for the conference, and we loved the rooms that we stayed in. They were so cozy. I wish the beds were bigger because they were full size, which was a little bit tight to share with 2 adults, but overall it was a great experience. Of course, we had to bring our espresso maker with us like we do every time we go to a hotel. Even though the hotel had their own cafe where they served Starbucks coffee at, we save a ton of money making our own, to the point where it justifies buying convenient items like this. Plus, these ones were on clearance, so it was a no-brainer. Easy to eat, easy to clean up, plus they're delicious. So I'm glad we bought this caramel and apple dip, snack. Of course, we also saved a ton of money by having our own breakfast at the hotel, snacks at the hotel, plus the meals I'm going to share with you later how I made them. But I'm going to share with you what the fridge looked like. Of course, we brought our own condiments. We had some drinks from the house, the meat that I bought and made beforehand, and then all of the groceries that I got from the grocery store. It all fit in here so nicely. I don't know if you all know this, if I've ever mentioned it, but for about half a year, Dakota and I lived in his mom's basement, and we lived out of a mini fridge for Dakota, Weston, and I, and it worked out just fine. So you make do with what you have, and it's all going to be fine in the end. You can get through anything for a few days. I mean, we did it for 6 months with a toddler when we first moved to Tennessee, so you can do it in a hotel for a few days.
Little strings of lights right there.
Daddy, water!
Yeah, let me tell you.
This hotel in particular is like its own village. It has amazing little stores and restaurants. It has little cafes, and it's like walking outdoors, but in the comfort of being inside. And it would be really easy to buy all the food from there. Everything's so convenient, but it's so expensive. So we saved a ton of money by making our own breakfast and coffee, like I said, but one of my favorite ways to do that is with overnight oats. It's a great way to have all of my fiber and my protein all in one. You just have to make sure that they get mixed up really well. If you notice that it's not mixing in the bottom, I would suggest using a spoon or a knife and getting all that stirred up before you refrigerate it overnight. And then muffins is one of Dakota's favorite things to have as a hotel breakfast. Of course, we had the fruit, bananas, cut up fruit already, and then our homemade coffee. Definitely recommend having your own Keurig or whatever it is that you like your coffee to be like. It's worth the extra step of packing it yourself. So when it came time to making our dinner, I just put our cold refrigerated meat that was already seasoned on a microwave paper plate. I covered it up for the walk down to the microwave. It was in this vending area, and the microwave was actually pretty clean. Most hotels have access to microwaves even if it's not directly in your room. So technically, you could make any dish ahead of time, put it in a Ziploc or a Tupperware container that will fit in a mini fridge, and then have leftovers during your hotel stay. And it's so worth it because honestly, we would have spent so much money on every single meal. The cheapest option was McDonald's, which you know you're not going to feel good during vacation if that's what you're eating. Otherwise, we would have been spending at least $30 on breakfast. That's something simple from the hotel. And upwards to $70 and $80 just for one simple sit-down meal. And we're not even talking about fancy places. So this was 100% worth it to walk down the hall to a little microwave and make one of our favorite dishes. I could have done this with ground beef, pulled pork, anything at all. It would have been amazing. I used chicken because it was the easiest thing to batch cook for all of our meals that week. And then everyone customized it with their favorite toppings according to what they wanted. I made mine with the corn tortillas. I could have heated them up on the saute function in the Instant Pot. Of course, there's our sour cream. I cut the hole in the end of the bag, makes it so easy to use. And that was our dinner on the second night. For Thanksgiving, I decided to make a one-pot casserole type dish, but I didn't have a pop lid on the green beans like I did the mushroom soup, so I couldn't make the green bean casserole like I wanted to. I was going to section everything off with foil, but I just lined my Instant Pot with foil so it would still be easy to clean up later, and we just went with the cooked chicken breast, stuffing, and a little quick gravy. I brought a jar of broth that came from cooking chicken at home, and I could have made the gravy from scratch before getting on the road, but I was kind of in a hurry, and this packet is inexpensive. It is altogether less money than actually buying a jar of pre-done gravy as well, so that's why I went with this packet. And you're going to mix it before it gets warmed up, that way it doesn't clump as much. And then after you're done, it will cook beautifully in the Instant Pot just as is. You could do it on the saute function if you wanted to, but I didn't want to have to deal with that mess. So just mixed it up like this. You could also microwave gravy, you can microwave stuffing, you can do everything all on the side and add it all together later. But this is just a quick way to have everything be done in one pot. I didn't have to dirty up any bowls, and the foil really did help. I decided to add the French's onions at the last minute because it would change up the flavor a little bit from your standard chicken and stuffing casserole. And after I did this, I needed to make sure that I had water in the bottom so that way the steam could come up and the pot could come to pressure. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to actually have everything cook. I ended up using about 1.5 cups or maybe even 2 cups of water total. I was trying to be really careful to make sure that it didn't get all over the stuffing and chicken. If it does, it's okay. It will steam through and the stuffing will cook. You just want to make sure that you don't soak the stuffing with that water, especially because it needs to be a standing water and come to pressure. Of course, make sure your valve is pushed back, and then I let this cook for 10 minutes. You can release the steam on your own. It doesn't have to natural release. Just make sure it's pointed away from anything like the TV or cabinets or whatever, because you don't want anything to be damaged with water or steam. And dinner is done. It was so delicious. It wasn't crispy on top, which you could make more crispy stuffing in the oven if you did this at home. but it was delicious. I really missed the green bean casserole. I could have also brought some sweet potato casserole, would have been super easy, but look how clean it was to pull this out and then just wipe it out with a wet paper towel until we got home, where we could then deep clean it like we normally do. So super simple. Dessert was a pumpkin roll that Dakota picked up from the grocery store. Our leftovers went into the Ziploc bag that our cooked chicken came out of, and we had a good Thanksgiving. Of course, we're looking forward to a little more formal sit-down family dinner for the holidays coming up soon. But hopefully this video gave you some inspiration that you can save money during your next vacation. And until my next video, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. What kind of traditions do you have in your family? Have you changed things up from year to year? Did you try any new recipes lately? And what kind of plans do you have for Christmas? Now, if you are going through a hard season right now this holiday, if you're missing loved ones, I just want to let you know that you are in my thoughts and in my prayers, that you are not alone, and that I pray you feel comforted, that you were able to experience a little bit of joy during this video, that you could feel some of our family's joy, and also know that we are there with you in a tough season. May you feel God's peace and comfort, and that you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching.